What is up? Welcome back to the SuperCoach Experience podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Savage, the coach of the Xavier Turbos. Round 21 is here, and what I have to say is there are so many injuries that I don't even have enough trades to fix them all. I'm joined by the 2021 champion, Timothy Moody. We're in a new setting here. It feels nice. It feels very, very SuperCoach NRL live stream show.
Yeah, it does. It's got a very crisp, clean, dark, but serious feel. Feel like it's got to the nitty-gritty part of the season. You either got Dylan Edwards or you didn't. Glad I got him.
You got
him? Yeah.
What?
Nah, well, I mean, not me personally, but a couple of guys I know did. Look, why let the truth get in the way of a good story? I mean, Grant was just here last week telling the listeners he was 6 foot tall. So, I mean, why can't I pretend that I got Dylan Edwards?
Yeah, I don't know if I
He's
believe
not 6 foot tall. Come on, bro.
We got to get a measuring stick next week for Grant.
Oh, that was the funniest.
So it feels like we're here in this official setting because it's do or die week.
Yep.
I think there's a lot of questions to be asked. Cleary, Hughes, Hines, how do we fit them all in? Dylan Edwards, is he a must? And we just got to go over the team list carnage. Kolomatangi out, Lucas still out, but there's no 2 RFs to replace them with, so we're going to go over all that. Firstly, how'd you go on the weekend? Obviously, no Dylan Edwards. I see a 1, 2, 3, 5 there. How's your rank?
Yeah, rank didn't get hit as bad as I expected. Hey, I 1,851. I'm really struggling with numbers. Those who are listening 2 weeks ago on the podcast, I think I was saying that I was ranked like what was the number I made up in my? It was
100 and it was 1,000.
1,100.
Yeah, something like that.
1,100. Yeah. So it was a good listen, that one.
You called me on the way home because we uploaded it before we headed home, and you're like, listen to that part. It's so funny. People are going to think I'm an idiot. And
I am. I struggle with numbers at the best of times. I'm a bit dyslexic, but that was one of my finest. Someone commented, so shout out to them. But yeah, no, look, back to where I'm ranked. 1,851, only dropped 210 places, and I thought, that's not too shabby for no Dylan Edwards. I was kind of lucky. A lot of other teams I felt like copped a few HIAs or worse injuries than what I do. Like I caught Kolomatangi, but I still like he scored okay.
Yeah.
But some other people, you got Nikora. There was who else was? You laughing at Nikora?
Nikora, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe it. Nikora. There was Billy Smith. There was and then Tino capped it off to end the weekend.
Yeah.
It was carnage all around, and like just like yourself, I thought I was hit a lot easier than I was. I scored 1177, which is 60 short of you. I dropped 700 spots from 2,900 to 3,700. I feel like I'm still in a decent spot to really make up ground late in the year, but with the trades that I don't have and the injuries that are happening, it just feels like the trades I have are not going to be used to make moves. It's going to be used to fix my team, and I think the strategy now shifts from I'm getting in these players for sure, to when do I use these trades? If I can field 18 this week, do I just hold put and make sure I'm good for the end of the year and maybe make trades later in the year? Because I feel like that will be more attacking than using them right now because I can field a team right now. And I just think that there's so many different strategies you can use.
Yeah, it really depends how many trades you've got and what situation. I mean, for someone like yourself who've got only like 3 left.
4.
Yeah, I got 6. So I'm not too far off. Yeah, we've sort of gone a bit harder earlier, so we've made our moves and sort of had those luxuries earlier on. Now we're going to be a bit more conservative, just to sort of keep it all together and try, not have a dramatic fall towards the back end of the year. But yeah, I think it's just. You can still make some moves within that, maybe less if you've got 4, but maybe, I feel like I've still got 1 or 2 maybe.
Well, there's Payne Haas, there's Nathan
It's not so much
Cleary.
moves, it's more just the selections. I go like with one of these 2, the final fullback position. Do I get another fullback? Do I lock in Cleary there and stick with just the 2 halves in the halfback position in Hughes and Nico? A lot of options, and then there's, you can chuck some curveballs in there like Reece Walsh is on my mind. Do I try compete Walshy up against Edwards? And that seems like a bit of a, I don't know, but like having the wrong dog in the race to me. I'm just kind of looking at it going, geez, Walsh would have to do a lot to sort of compete.
Walsh could definitely win like a Class 2 race, but is he in the Class 1 race of Dylan Edwards, Scott Drinkwater, and James Tedesco?
We'll get to those a bit more, though, I guess.
There are a lot of people selling James Tedesco this week, which I'm keen to talk to you about. Yeah. But we will go over the team list wrap-up. But firstly, this podcast is brought to you by Kyle McGrath Accounting. Get your accounting and tax return needs done by Kyle McGrath. Give him a call on 0401 044 839 or head to his website, kylemcgrathaccounting.com.au. You got your tax done from him recently.
Yeah, I did.
Out of 5 Let's Trots, how many?
Oh, solid, mate. Just really got the job done. No mucking about. No, look, he's only done my tax 1 year prior to this, like the year prior, and now it's just like he already knows my details. You know, this, that, this. You're claiming this again. You know, he's good at what he does, except I think he's been focusing a little bit too much on his tax returns and his this time of year. Did you hear what he did?
Oh, what'd he do?
I'm pretty sure I read in the chat, man, that he traded in Edwards, but forgot to play him.
Oh, no.
And he's ranked like in the top 200.
Oh, no.
Going into the round. So traded him in, but didn't put the reserve on him or didn't play him somehow. Like something just happened there. Like, you know, I think it might have just been one of those.
And played Pappy instead.
I don't know how it happened, but that's tragic. That's tragic. I'm sweating it where I'm sitting, you know what I mean? And he's right up there with a genuine crack to compete
with so many trades left. I think that just proves how concentrated on your taxes.
Oh mate, he doesn't miss any T's or dotting any I's when it comes to my tax, and maybe that was it.
All right, let's head to the first game on Thursday night. The Roosters take on the Melbourne Storm. Billy Smith is out. Sandon returns at 5'8". We've got Ethan King in at centre for the Melbourne Storm. No Munster and no Pappy. Timmy, Pappy becoming a problem. Do you still have him?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, might as well just keep him now. Hey, it's getting to that point. No, I'll be pretty keen to get rid of him. There's obviously, once he gets back, it's not going to be great for him, and the draw's even tougher. You know what I mean? It's getting really tough. I think they've got Para next week, which is great. If he came back for Para, that'd be kind of a nice matchup, but then the rest of the games are pretty tricky. But yeah, if he's been out for this long with a bit of calf, got to go. I wish I did it last week.
They lost against Manly last week, so I assumed that Bellamy's probably looking at this matchup against the Roosters thinking it is a bit trickier. We need to win this so we don't get on this losing streak before we play Para, because we don't want any complacency coming into the side. You would have thought if he was close, he would have got named on the extended at least. We got word last week because we record at the same podcast studio that D or Dave, their producer, records at. And he came to us straight after they recorded their podcast and he said he'll be right to play tonight and on Thursday night. And he's obviously not. There's something more going on there.
Yeah. Don't know what it is. It's annoying just the price he's at. I wish he was more for one. Nearly all the players I want to buy are in that 700K bracket, and all the players I want to sell are in the 600K bracket. And I've got no bank, so you have to free up some more cash again. It's back to that old chestnut. What cheapies are out there, or bring in another enough. But for me, thank goodness, Charlie Geimer's turned into like a keeper. People are wanting to bring him in and to play. So yeah, how good's he going?
Fair play to them, because he's turning into the immortal 3.0, or rather the 14th immortal. Let's move on to the 6 p.m. Dragons play the Cowboys at home. And this matchup is very, very looking like I'm not going to watch it, to be honest. Robert Derby is back on the wing for Murray Taulagi. Purdue is back to the centres. Duffy at 5'8", and that is all for the game. Anything interest you in this game, Timmy?
I mean, Drinky for sure could be a vice captain. He's been pretty reliable score-wise for the most part. He's got a couple little low ones there, but it seems like this his sort of game, and being early in the round, it's an ideal guy to get a VC. If he goes massive, great. But if he doesn't, you're not stuck with it. Then you go with someone a bit more, reliable. But yeah, I think that just having an early look at it could be somewhere where I go.
Yeah, 100%. looking at the primetime game on Friday night, we got the Broncos take on the Parramatta Eels at Suncorp. Payne Haas is named to play. Yongi gone for the season. Moses is back. Papali'i to fullback. Hawkins 5'8". There's a lot happening here. Supercoach-wise, I think the Broncos look like they've got a very good draw. Payne Haas is the big one, though. Is he a must-have this week, considering we have 3 big injuries to front rowers / second rowers?
Well, I feel like he's probably one of the better options to go to, just because he's like a out-and-out just keeper, like you do. Everyone probably wants him.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a little bit of the like injury still lurking from Origin. He's been playing through. Like, would you like to? I think what's his BE's kind of highish at 70 or 90 or something. You could bring that up.
I haven't had a look, but
for me, there's so many players I want to bring in, and I could probably only bring in 1 this week, and I'd like to bring in 3. Would need to free up cash to facilitate.
Payne Haas's break even is 92.
Yeah, so it's a great matchup, but maybe because it's such an easy matchup, they don't need to play him for huge minutes if they're just getting the job done.
If all these injuries didn't happen, I don't think I'd be rushing him in just based on the injury. Like, I was thinking about it last week before all these injuries occurred, and to me, it just seemed like a luxury trade at the time. I think it's obviously a no-brainer now. Koloamatangi, Tino gone for a month. We will talk about that, though. Tino's only gone for up to a month, so there's every chance he comes back, which is probably a good thing. But I think Koloamatangi out for the season, it's just a straight swap, and for me, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, the injury concern is worrying, but who else are you going to go to?
Yeah, he's definitely the guy. It's not a straight swap. I wish it was, like price-wise. But, yeah, it does feel like for like, just get him in, get one out, get him in. But, yeah.
Saturday, 3 p.m, the Warriors take on the Titans. And for this matchup, Tino is out and Haas comes to lock for the Warriors, relatively unchanged. I mean, it feels like a matchup I really would want to target, but it's just we're so low on trades. But if you are high on trades, there are some options I don't mind here. Like, I think Chan's at fullback. You could take a flyer for a couple of weeks. They've got a very good draw. Aaron Clark owner.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Wade Egan. 66 last week.
Yeah, going better than
Connor Watson.
It's so annoying, man. Do you know what? Okay, I just want to have a little bit of a little vent if I can.
Timmy's Tangent.
Yeah, a little Timmy's Tangent, if you don't mind.
Welcome to Timmy's Tangent.
When I traded out Connor Watson because he was playing Origin for that period, trying to get him out of my side. He had quite a bad schedule. I wasn't going to play many games. I really looked into it, and I decided Wade Egan was my guy. And I feel like he scored the worst out of all of them. Out of all the potential options, there was cheaper guys for 200, 300K less that scored better. There was more expensive guys that scored better. Anyways, now it's time to trade. I trade him back out because I was done with him. He's bottom dollar, 450K. Other people are buying him. I'm trading him out. I'm like, I can't stand this guy. I picked Connor Watson, who's sort of now going the worst out of all the other options. Like, some people went Keeley, so he's going better. Some people went Grant, marginally better, but still better. And then, don't make me say the B word.
Oh, no.
Oh, geez, he's got a hard name to say. Have you ever heard of podcasters try and say, I'm trying to say it, then it's hard.
Break.
Yeah.
Break Blayley.
Yeah, break Brayley. Well, it's really hard to say. It's really, do I start with the BR or the BL? It's really confusing. I've heard about like 5 different podcasts make an absolute meal of it, and I think I might go back and try find them all and mash it up into a thing.
And
it sounds great.
That upload it as a video as well, which is like you'd even take the best parts of you saying things on a podcast and put it out to the world, but still to messed up like blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, it's a tough one. But yeah, so for me to have gotten that wrong both times, it's just like really frustrating. Hooker's been a position that's haunted me for the last couple of years, just not really capitalising on it. We'll get to break Blayley later.
I'm not going to make a Hooker joke. I think that's too predictable at this point in time. The Penrith Panthers take on the Tigers, 5:30 Saturday, and the big one, Nathan Cleary is in. Brian To'o is in. Isaiah Yeo is in. Liam Martin named on the extended. Taylor May returns. What a comeback game from him last week, 90 points. Isaac Tuipulotu is on the wing and Dewey stays at lock. What do you like here? Penrith are well and truly back. They're in 6th. They have a few less win. They've got one less win than people around them in the 8, but they're still there. They've got no buys left, but Nathan Cleary's a big one here.
Yeah, I'm like it's stressful because I was going to just move Pappy out last week for Cleary, and then when that was held off, I was a bit like, oh, if I get, Dylan Edwards now, it sort of forces my hand next week, and I wasn't sure that I was ready to move on either Hughes or Nico. Yeah, it's just all very, very convoluted and very stressful, and now I'm kind of like, which one's more of a priority? They're both the same price. Do I think that, like, with Cleary sort of coming back still a little bit, like, not 100% maybe? Still a little bit?
Well, we don't even know.
Might not even
goals.
be kicking. Yeah, maybe Dylan's kicking. That could have the buffer there. So Dylan's got that, you got to make a decision on him. He's at that. You had to make a decision on him a little bit last week. I think his BE was around 25-ish or something like that. So he was going to, if he scored decent, he was going to go up enough. But the fact that he scored 170, he's jumped up like 115K or something. It's pretty annoying. But now he's got that massive negative BE. If you don't buy him now and he puts up another big one and he just looks like the standout fullback, you're kind of behind. So it's a tough decision for people who didn't get him.
Well, the thing is, if you feel like you've missed Dylan Edwards, he's got a negative 18 break even. He's 760K. There are people still asking if they've missed Herbie at 900K. Like 760K for a guy that's in form is a lot less cheap than.
Yeah, it's not about the price. I think it's more about. I think it's kind of going. Well, I've missed that big 170. Do I want to try and go something else to try and catch up on those people that got that 170 points on me? Like if I just jump on with them, I'm always just going to stay that 170 points. I'm then relying on the rest of my side to do better things to catch up incrementally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to just going a different route, like going to Reece Walsh and hoping that, Reece Walsh just goes bananas, couple of tries where Dylan Edwards just gets through his work and doesn't really have any attack or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that seems risky to me because I feel like Dylan Edwards can just get through his work and score the same as what, Walsh might, looking really fantastic and doing backflips at the end of July and stuff, and they still have similar scores. But it's a tough one. Like, I also look at it like with Dylan Edwards, like if you do get him, I don't know how I feel about it because like I kind of look at him as like he's just a basic guy without the upside, and it was like maybe more so just that game that because he, But
that's why he didn't pull the trigger last week, isn't it? Because you knew that he'd probably score well this game. If he scored,
I thought it was going to be 100, bro. I didn't think it was going to be 170.
If he scored 101. I don't think people would be flocking to him. And if he wasn't the guy last week, then
170 is out of control. Though,
it is, but that he only scores that type of score when Cleary is out of the side. Souths were absolutely shot, and that was the dream matchup. You've missed it. You've got to go for the next guy, in my opinion. We'll talk about it after, but I think he's...
But then again, if he's like really killing it though, like if he's like... Because Penrith are in good form, and the try assists aren't necessarily coming through Nath, and they maybe do come through him a bit more once they're clicking, being that last pass and a bit more sweepier of the guy. Has a lot of work, maybe kicks for a little bit. And even if he's not, even just his tackle bust. I don't know if that was just
ridiculous.
Like some of his tackle busts were just so like the first little run he sort of had where he had like maybe 4 tackle busts. It was like I just didn't know what was going on there. He was just sort of moving the things to the side like. It was like, excuse me. It was like they were in slow motion or their brains weren't working, and he was like on some sort of mad, high functioning, limitless pill or something like that. I don't get it. It was moving. It would just look too easy.
He always beats that first and second person by the look of it anyway. Just for me.
But I don't think they looked that bad. I watched the first half back again torturously last night.
Rabbitohs?
Yeah. And I didn't think they looked that bad. It was like 12-0 for a lot of the game. And
yeah. I just think he takes on a bigger role with Cleary in the side. Yo wasn't in the side either, so Yo's hands on ball. That's so different.
I think he's the best, like he's the one in the best top 3 fullbacks. So for the run home. So from that argument, I think you kind of do need to kind of not just go, oh, well, I've missed his 170.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if this is the way I look at it, if he puts out 100s, 180, 100, and then the next best guy that you'd bring in instead is someone like Walsh, he puts up like 60, 70, 100 and a 40, then you haven't missed anything. You know what I mean? You're still making up on all those other people that didn't get it.
Yeah.
Just because you're not catching up anything on those other people that already did it last week. There's probably other ways to catch them. I think I'm talking myself in. I got it done. Yeah.
I think just based on matchups, like if he didn't have the Tigers and the Titans in the next 2 weeks, then he has Newcastle. But then for head-to-head finals, round 23 Newcastle, round 24 Melbourne, round 25 Canberra, I think they can still put a score on Canberra. I think Penrith Panthers just a better style of play. 26 Bulldogs, 27 St. George. I think for me, he's probably in the top 3, but I think the question is, if you already have Jerome Hughes and Nico Hines, who are you selling to get Dylan Edwards?
Oh, I think it's got to be.
Are you getting in Cleary as
just
well?
Based on the draw, I think it's Hughes. And I think I'm prepared to do that, but for me, it's all been the timing about like, oh, I'm not prepared to let that guy go. Like, why let this guy go when I still think he's got big scores just to buy someone else who I think also has got good scores? Like, sometimes you want to let go of a guy when you think they're not going to score well to pick up someone, not just buy someone who's both going to, you know what I mean? So for me, I really wanted to keep Hughes for that Parrot game.
I don't want you to talk about that. I don't want you to talk about it yet because we've got our own topic for the segment. Rabbitohs take on the Sharks Saturday 7:30, and big changes here for the Rabbitohs. Gray is at fullback, which means AJ back to the wing. So I bank on him getting that record once again this year. Maybe hopefully if the Rabbitohs can score some points. Dodd at halfback, Keon Kalamatangi gone for the season. Looks like his injury. I think he was potentially due to maybe come back in the last round, but they've just declared he's gone for the season.
As much as I don't think they look that bad, I think they really put an effort in last week.
They have been all season, to be honest.
They have been good. They've had players out all year, but I think maybe we really need to just target I think so captain-wise. Even if you are looking at trades and stuff and you've got a few up your sleeve, it might be like, oh, who's the Bunnies got this week? And who's the biggest upside guy there?
Well, they're the one team I'm looking at the moment that I think are just completely gone for the season. And
it's so hard to just keep getting up and you know what I mean? When you're just so hammered like that.
And they are so short that nobody expects anything from them. So I think by the end of the year, it could go the other way where they just start throwing the ball around. They could be dangerous to play against, which could be interesting. For the Sharks, Ramian back at centre. Nigara gone.
No.
Gone.
Yeah, he's gone. I don't have him, and I was sort of he's one of those guys a little bit scared of with this Sharks draw.
Yeah.
Heaps scared of him with the Sharks draw because, everyone's like, oh, keep Hines now, and that's his little key piece that he loves that Nickera short ball in line. So yeah, glad he's gone for not owning, but unlucky for people who are low on trades and do have him.
Yeah, 100%. I assume he'll be back next week because it was just a HIA that kept him out. But yeah, I think this one also, Daniel
for this matchup though,
yeah, this is the matchup you want him for. Daniel Atkinson's named on the bench, so Cameron McInnes and Adam Fanua-Blake owners can potentially see some more minutes from him. So I even think that Fanua-Blake is maybe an option if you want to play him on matchup. I think he scores well this game. I'm excited to see what happens there. Sunday, 2 p.m, the Raiders take on the Knights at home. I'm pretty sure. GIO Stadium. And Sasangi is in at centre. Seb Chris is gone. Horse at lock. 88 points
Still
on the
got
weekend.
him.
88 points on the weekend.
Yeah, happy about that. I sold Tarpany over him 2 weeks ago to Angus, which I don't love, the Angus move, but it was just kind of needed an extra player for that round a couple weeks ago for Angus. But Horsburgh, liking the extra duel. Now that Kalamatangi's going out of my side, it just gives that extra movement to the other guys I've got there, like Clark. So handy hold. And yeah, it does seem sort of playable too.
I kind of don't mind him as a hold just based on sit versus starts are so hard at the moment. If you upgrade it into like someone who's worth playing week in and week out, it's annoying. Whereas Horsburgh's that perfect person
Happy to leave out?
It's play or not play. If he scores well, you're kind of not mad about it because you're like, he's in my squad as depth. He's like a Daniel Atkinson to the side. If there's injuries, then you plug him in. And the last game, the Bulldogs take on Manly, 4 p.m. on Sunday. Zeri returns, Tuala on the wing, which means Jethro is at 18, Galvin at number 7, and Manly remain pretty unchanged. Tommy at centre, Lehigh at fullback. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Tommy at centre, and I think his run home is very good. I think I'm not just saying this as a Tommy Turbo tragic.
No, I'm with you.
I think he's worth a conversation for the head-to-head finals. Even at fullback, because I think he's scored. I actually think at centre wing, he's getting the tackles. Like his base is up. On the weekend against Melbourne, we saw Lehigh. He was restricted, 53 points, but he just does that in work. Usually Tommy's that one that just can't get involved. But I think in centre, he's just so unpredictable against these better sides. So, I'm not actually mad about him playing Bulldogs.
I think he's a nice own, but I'd be reluctant to buy him even though he's going well, just because he does have that tendency to get injured, obviously. I mean, well, I'm not saying he's never a buy ever again, but just this time of the year when we're low on trades and stuff like that, to bring him in, it would be kind of painful. Unless you're that confident on like the matchups and stuff, maybe I'd be reluctant to grab him.
Well, Dogs at a core this week, and then Roosters at 4 Pines, and then he has Raiders, who historically they've been very good against.
Yeah, but they're tough games. Two really tough games, like in the Dogs and the Raiders, I reckon.
And then last 4 weeks they finished with Tigers, Dolphins, St George, New Zealand. So good, I guess Dolphins and New Zealand could be either way, but 2 of those games are at 4 Pines. St George is a pretty good matchup. I like him. Probably not a buy, but I think he's potentially one to keep up your sleeve for those matchups. He's 630K with a 15 break even. So, it's not panic stations at the moment, but I'm liking him as an owner, not regretting life.
Olakau'atu back as well.
Olakau'atu's back.
Some people might be slightly interested with the amount of carnage there's been, if they've got extra trades up there. I believe, but I think it's one of those ones that was a shoulder, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, be reluctant with the contact and stuff.
Because he didn't get surgery either. So I think just based on tackle bus, his big draw card for Supercoach points.
Yep.
And I think just in contact, he'll just be that little bit more cautious when going into contact. So I think
maybe they should get that bloke, the producer from Fox, put a hit on him now.
Also, he actually, tackles wise, he averages pretty low for tackles anyway. And I think there's going to be a lot more missed tackles, which is going to, I think you need those base stats from Olakau'atu for him to score big, because even when he scores well, it's still the ceiling's not there. And I think this second row spot is a bit of a worry at the moment. Who are you finding? I think Angus was probably a good purchase, just based on the depth we have at the moment. Nicker is out. We've got probably Eli Katoa, the one that's locked in, right?
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I like having Aaron Clark there as well. Feels like a guy I use more in second row than I do in front row. But yep.
All right, moving on to hot topics of the week for round 21. We've already kind of touched on it. Is Edwards a must? I want you to answer that question.
Is he a must? Well, it's very team dependent how many trades you got. Hey, I think if you've got 3 trades, I mean, there's probably more bigger priorities for you depending on what injuries you've got, and even just holding him if you've got warm bodies. If you've got Pappy there, then maybe.
He's not a warm body. He's a cold body.
Maybe you'd move Pappy out because you don't want to be. I wouldn't feel confident playing him when he returns either, because he hasn't been scoring that well all year. I sort of felt like he was going pretty well, but it's just sort of
since probably since Munster, Grant, and Hughes have been back on deck fully. It's probably been a bit of a downtick for Pappy, and I think it's all but confirmed that Meany probably keeps kicking.
Yeah.
Even though he missed a crucial kick on the weekend, but if it's a leg injury, I think Melbourne have shown they're cautious with their kickers in that sort of sense. So Edwards a must? Probably not, but we probably think
very nice too, and probably Like, I just can't see it going too bad. Like, I wish I'd done it last week, and I think sometimes you might just need to swallow your pride. Yeah, we're not, like, for people who didn't get him last week, we're not going to expect to get those 170s.
170s, yep.
I think you'd probably buy him and you'd get a 85 and it'd feel disappointing, but it'd still be a good score at his price point. Even if he just pumped out 85, 85, 85 the next 3 weeks, that's going to help you probably get ahead both overall and in head-to-head. So, like, I think, yeah, you can temper your expectations and still be pleased.
Yeah.
But then he could still go quite well. Like, I'm not saying 170, but maybe he could pop. Maybe he does have another close enough, like a 150, a 145, or I don't know, maybe 160.
I guess the question for him is he's probably top 3 fullback. Who are you selling? What's the difference? Is it going to affect you later in the season? I think you've got to lay out your team. If you're using one of your last trades now on him and you're selling like 1,500 people have sold Tedesco.
For me, it's changing the plans, like, because it depends how much money you've got in the bank. If you're, I know a lot of people right now that have got like $500,000 in the bank or 700,000. I think you're one of them that's just stashed up with cash. I've got nothing. Just like my normal life. Yeah, the way I'm looking at it is I've got to change my plans up because I'd kind of had in my plans I'll probably want to bring in either Cleary. I wanted to bring in Cleary last week and I wanted to bring in Haas this week. That was my plans. And so the plans got all changed around a bit. I ended up going, I'm going to get Hudson last week now. And now I'm like, well, now I want the plans get Cleary. I've got to go against that plan that I've changed now, get maybe Dylan, and then decide the week after, well, I could free up enough cash to do both. Like, say I did go Dylan Edwards this week, I could use a second trade to free up cash and then do the other two, like the Haas and the Cleary next week. So for people in that position and you don't have all the money, it's just sometimes you've got to put things off for a little bit while and work out which ones you can put off and why. Why you're putting it off. Like, if I can put off Haas and go, he probably does score like 100 if he plays really well, but if they rest him, he might underwhelm and he's got a high BE. I could probably just let that one go.
Score a 50.
It's a bit like Hudson last week. I thought he was going to go pretty well with that matchup against Para. He only scored like 65. He had a big BE of 105 and lost a bit of cash. I didn't really need to do it at that most expensive price. So I reckon I can wait on Haas. But yeah, I think for me, I would want to get him in.
I think based on last week and the last few weeks, the point has been proven. You've got to be adaptable to what your plans were. And even though your plans might have changed, I think that's what you got to deal with now. If you think,
I wish I could have been more adaptable on the run.
I think if you think Edwards is a very good thing now, then you've got to decide Cleary or Haas. Haas, I mean, who's more likely to score 130? Either of them, to be honest.
Yeah, it just depends on the circumstances, really, doesn't it?
And also depends who you're playing. Instead, depends on which ones you buy. The question might be, if I don't get one of them this week, am I okay with not getting them for the rest of the season in case other things come up?
It might be easier for you to also get one of them or pass on one of them because, like, say it's for Cleary that you're passing on, you might be like, well, I don't know which one of the... If I really want to sell Hughes yet, like maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I do want to hold Hughes for next week's game against Paris still. So that way you can sort of target Payne Haas because you might have an easier sell there in Kolomatangi but yeah, a lot of these will be super, super team dependent. And then I guess it just comes down to which one scares you the most to not get this week as well, like factor that in.
Dylan Edwards is kind of scary because he's new.
The new things always seem scary, doesn't it? You're a bit unknown.
Everybody already has, your Tedescos, your drink waters. Buying a drink water doesn't seem scary. I guess that moves on to the next kind of topic: Jerome Hughes versus Nicho Hynes versus Nathan Cleary. Nathan Cleary has been named. A lot of people have got the Nicho Hynes, Jerome Hughes combo. I think Nicho, there's no chance you sell Nicho this week. Playing the Rabbitohs, he's probably even a captain option.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Jerome Hughes has the Roosters this week, then has Parramatta next week, and then followed by the Broncos. I think it's clear cut. You sell Jerome Hughes for me.
Yeah, do you know it's tough? Like sometimes I think it's like if you got you can only have you've got a 2-car garage, right? You've got a 2-car garage and you've got I'm not really great with cars, but I'm going to just try and say you've got an Aston Martin and a Ferrari and you love them both, but now you can get the Cybertruck. One of them's got to go. You know what I mean? You've got to let go. One of they're great things, but you ultimately want to get the Cybertruck in. I think Nathan Cleary's a Cybertruck. I don't even know if the Cybertruck's that good of a thing.
Is the Cybertruck better than
I don't
those
know.
two? I don't think
probably
it is.
not. No, it's probably not. But that could be a sign that he's not as good as them.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to go with?
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to sacrifice a mad thing that you've got that's great for something better.
And does that come down to how many trades you have left? I think if you've got enough trades, then probably Jerome Hughes is the go.
It can be very luxurious, but that can be the part that just makes you go, yeah, I feel better about going into this round, having Cleary, and that's what feels like I'm going to set myself apart.
And also, I guess having the Cybertruck, feeling more confident could get you that extra business deal that you were after because you were at the right place at the right time, whereas you're sitting there with your Aston Martin, just really down on life, just thinking, I want the Cybertruck.
We're
Jesus
so bad
Christ.
at metaphors. We always try to do metaphors and they just end up being the most nonsense.
Someone's probably sitting here thinking, a Cybertruck versus an Aston Martin. I don't even know what I'm talking about, to be honest. So I'm just going off your vibe here. Yeah. I think in my case, I've got Cherry Evans in my side, right? He's got a pretty good head-to-head draw, but I think I'm pretty sold on just going Cherry Evans to Cleary because a lot of people probably won't be going to Nathan Cleary. A lot of people aren't trading him in this week.
Find it harder to do.
And even though Cherry Evans does have a good head-to-head draw, I've already got Tommy and Lehigh to help buffer that in case. And if Manly don't, I'm really relying heavily on Manly to dominate this really easy draw where from how they've played this season, I can't trust that they do that every single week. Sorry, I said that really loudly. So, yeah, I think even though I have 4 trades left, I'm getting in Haas, I'm getting in Cherry Evans to Cleary. I am selling one injury off, which is Colin Matangi to Haas, and then Cherry Evans to Cleary. And I'm okay with it. I think they're upgrades.
And you'll have 2 left?
I'll have 2 left, and I've also got...
Are there full emergency trades?
I've got Lucas and Tino in my side, but I can still field a really good side this week. And Tino is only out for a month max, so we'll be back for 2 or 3 weeks later in the season. So I think Payne Haas, Terrell May, hold the fort for me up front, and then rocking into later in the season, hopefully Tino can just do some damage for me.
Maybe you could hold off on the... for you and other people in that situation, maybe you don't need to rush on. If you've got 4 trades, maybe you don't need to do DCE to Cleary. I know you sometimes you can wait and see how it goes, and he can come out and put a 170 on like Dylan Edwards did last week. I mean, for a lot of people going, "Oh, what do you think of Dylan Edwards?" And I'm going, "Oh, I just want to have a look, see how he goes." You know what I mean?
So if I do that right, this week I have 18 on the dot. If I don't trade in Cleary, I'm playing Cherry Evans, Trebojevic, Lehigh, and Garrick versus the best defensive side in the Dogs.
Are you playing Geimer?
No.
Should give Geimer a run, mate. He's elite.
Give
him a go, mate. Give him the call up.
No, you know what?
Give him a go.
I think I've got to go Cleary.
Oh, over Geimer? I'm not saying...
No, over Cherry Evans.
Okay, if you want to do it, do it.
But then again, Geimer, I've got McInnes in my second row. I could probably play Geimer over McInnes.
I don't need to find a way to play him, but I'm just,
But if worst comes to worst, because I got 2 Dolphins on the buy, Zarko and Farmworth. That's my pickle of the week. What is your pickle of the week? Brought to you by picklebet.com.au. Use code TURBO when signing up. Our best bet last week of Harry Grant and Jake Simpkin to score anytime was an absolute bust. Harry Grant got disallowed over the line because of a silly play the ball error, and Jake Simpkin went off injured. So dare I say, it was a successful bet without actually getting paid out.
Yeah, so my pickle of the week would be for me to afford going Pappenhausen to Edwards. I actually need to free up cash, and I've been putting that off for a while. I just don't know how much cash I need to free up. I don't want to free up more than I need to, and in a less of a quality of a player if I can go to some it's really tough. I'm not great with financial planning. I should be getting with me tax bloke Carl to give us a hand with a bit of this. I guess tax is pretty similar to financial planning. So I don't know, man. That's my biggest stress because there's plenty of people I could sell, but as I said, I don't want to completely nuff out if I don't need to. I've been tempted to sort of sell maybe one of the 5/8s to like a Tanner Boydie sort of kind of price or something as well, but yeah, I've been trying to put that on off as long as I could. The other scenario was if I was to just fade Edwards, I could put off the freeing up of cash and I could actually just go Pappenhausen to Walsh and Hughes to Cleary, and there's no freeing up, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm getting 2 guys in. You know what I mean? I'm just sort of passing. So I kind of don't mind it, but then I'm competing Walsh against Edwards, and I don't feel comfortable about that. Walsh does play the Storm twice this year, still to come.
I mean,
he's got 2 really good
has
games.
to be your guy, doesn't he?
He does, but Walsh has Para this week, which is nice, and then he's got the Bunnies next week. So I'm kind of like, he gets his go at the Bunnies. He gets his turn to have a go at.
Well, I think you've got 6 trades left. If you can get away pretty easily over the next couple of weeks with Walsh going berserk and you've got that point of difference and you get through to your head-to-head finals and you get no injuries, then you've still got like a trade or 2 up your sleeve.
No, it's one or the other.
Just to be a luxury. No, not to go back to Edwards, but as luxury to make another move. And you've already made another move. Edwards, it feels like getting in Edwards, it's not a move, but it probably is still.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Still a move.
Yeah, it's a move.
Yeah. Because I really, I look at the rest of my side, and the thing I really like about, the fact that I hadn't got Edwards is I was really sticking to my plan. And I've just been bringing in the guys that I really wanted, and I've got basically my final team outside of Cleary and Haas. That's the only people I really wanted. But now, if I could have my time over, I'd have Blake Brayley. I would have him in a heartbeat. I want him so bad. So bad. He looks so much better, and I almost think that can we just flip to him right now? Mm-hmm. Anyone who's sitting there thinking about him, going, I wish I had him. I just brought in Harry. I brought in blah, blah, blah. Just do it. If you got the trades, do it. I'm tempted to do it. I'm really tempted to do it. But I just think for me, I almost feel like if I wasn't doing Edwards, I'd prioritise going Brayley this week more so than trying to rush Cleary in. Because I just think he's got that much of a gap on Harry, and Harry and Watson are great players, and they always have been, and they score pretty well, but just form-wise and what we're seeing, just watching Harry, he'll have his little run, you're like, Harry had a run. I think he almost scored a try, got disallowed. That was pretty rough for you. I was super glad that how'd that play out again?
Oh, I didn't actually see it at the time, but apparently the ball got played and it got disallowed because he didn't play it correctly or something, or someone was in the line or something. I can't.
It was something cheeky in the I think it might have been some foul play or something. Well, I don't know. It was rough.
Oh, Nelson elbow.
It was the Nelson elbow. I think it was. Yeah. So that sucks for Harry owners because that was going to be a try anyway, it just would have been, unless the marker was going to help cover that. But I don't know. I think Brayley just looks so good. He's running, he's made a big deal about all the media's asking him questions about. He's having show and tell about it for the last 2 weeks.
I'm going to run the ball.
Yes, I'm running the ball. This is my football. I'm running it now. You've seen me do it.
Like Teddy with the small footy.
Yeah. So he's and even 2 weeks ago, just before bringing in Watson, I'm like, Brayley puts out that 100. I'm like, annoying. I need to bring in a hooker still. And I wanted to kind of just hold off and just take a 0. And I probably should have, but I was just like, no, I'll just back Watson.
He's done it 5 weeks in a row. He scored 3 tons and a 97 or something. Before this year, he only scored 1 ton in his career. And I get that he's just been given the green light to play his natural game, which I like.
Yep.
But
because he's not going nowhere. And do you know the thing is, you can sit there and go, the teams know about it now. the team they played last week would have been all over that. They would have done heaps of homework on it, and they didn't stop it.
And
the Roosters didn't stop it.
They're no pushover either.
Yeah, Robbo would have had them doing sessions on that, and he was just like Carvey picked the right times, like he just. And then on the back of that, it just creates other moments like other try assists and stuff that he's just involved with because.
He's got the early try assist every single week, eh? Like every time he gets it.
He's in that good form. I feel like I could be wrong on it, but I'm just real confident that whoever wins SuperCoach overall this year will have him in their side. Whether they've already got him now and have had him and already taken this, or I just feel like it could be the difference. It's just a gut feeling, so don't rip your side apart if you got 2 trades and you're in the top 3. Just my gut feeling. I feel like he's that much. I don't feel like it's going anywhere, and I don't feel that confident that Watson or Harry Grant. I mean, they can still have their attacking moments, but it's kind of like it needs the rest of the side to really get it going for them to sort of have their moments too. Like, I feel like Brayley's just going off the back of their forwards doing it well. It just doesn't look as easy for Watson. And
it's just one of them things that you need to look at what's happening in front of you. He's in the career best form. We've seen it with Herbie. Herbie's kept it up. When someone is in this purple patch, you've just got to pull the trigger. And I think the winner of SuperCoach, if they don't have them now, then they're looking at Brayley thinking he's a threat and he can actually make a difference at hooker, where all season we've kind of been saying it's not going to make a difference all year. Brayley's making a difference, and if you have him, it's going to be the difference for the end of the year. Man,
I wish I had one of them. If I just had one of them, I'd be able to go Edwards. Yeah, I feel like you need both. Like it's just form, and they've both got pretty good draws. Both the Sharks and the Panthers. I feel like both those players are real. Kind of got that sort of Herbie-esque feel of the last couple of months. Like you kind of got to have them.
All right, we've got a new segment. It's pretty much the stat attack of the week. So which targets should we be looking at this week? So
Brayley.
I look at a 3-round average and SuperCoach-wise, 3-round average of teams conceding points. So the Raiders' left side, so the right wing for the opposing side, is averaging 99 over the last 3 weeks. So Lomax, Sloan scored 93, and there was a 90-odd there, 95 Lomax, and there was 109 from someone a couple of weeks ago. Souths are averaging 141 versus fullbacks in the last 3, which is including a Dylan Edwards 173, but there was also a Hammer 100 in there as well. The Souths are also averaging 87. Souths are also averaging 87 to left centers in the last 3 and 87 to halfbacks. So Nico Hines is the big one there that will benefit from that this week. Eels concede 96 to left centers in the last 3. So they're playing the Brisbane Broncos this week. Gehamat Shibasaki. Draft players, maybe not a SuperCoach classic buy.
Well, what about that bloke that Buddy asked us about 2 weeks ago? Look, I've got Gemat.
Tummed up that week.
Yeah, no, get rid of him, mate. Get a gun in your side, and he's still killing it.
The Cowboys also average 86.6 to left second rowers, so they're playing the Dragons this week. Not very relevant, but I think it's if the left second row averages well this week, then I think more so the future is a really good shout there, and they're averaging 103 to fullback. So we're talking about Dylan Edwards. Gutho?
He found a little bit of form last week.
Scored 100. Scored 100.
Feel like he didn't have any hundreds left for the rest of his life.
Yeah, neither did I. I thought he looked quite slow. But they're the stat attack options of the week for SuperCoach. I think that's a nice little...
I think the one that just stands out for me...
Nico halfback.
Yeah,
sure.
And just... picturing him having his sort of running game where he just, I can see him just sort of picking up players, linking up with them, running, making long. He'll be just in finishing it, setting it up. I feel like it's going to be kind of Dylan Edwards-esque-ish.
Nico also turned up versus the Sharks earlier in the year, versus the Rabbitohs earlier in the year as well. So I think that's something to look out for. And if you are thinking of Clint Gutson, have the Cowboys, Canberra, Sharks, Warriors, then Souths, then Manly, then Penrith. So I'd probably stay away, to be honest. All right, looking at tipping point. So
how'd you go last week?
I nearly got clean sweeped 4-1. So the score is 7-12. It's fitting we're in this studio because it's like a do or die kind of week.
I think there's a Macca's pretty close to this studio too.
This is actually do or die this week. So if I don't get it right this week, I think I mathematically can't win.
Is this the point where I like go, oh, you know what? We'll start giving you double points and then going, oh, we let Savs.
No, I'm not like that.
Well, you know, like
I'll cop it on the chin, unlike some others.
Yeah, but not to your punishment. At least I participated in the game, played the game, and then got my hair cut like Kafusi the very next day. You're meant to be eating your cheeseburgers for about 12 months now, mate.
Can I rephrase? Can I have a adjustment in punishment?
Yeah, you'll do a Kafusi.
Can I do 12 hours or 12 hours of running?
No.
Or like straight running?
No.
I have to do 60 kilometers running?
You want it to be healthy.
I don't want to eat cheeseburgers, but I'll do it if I have to.
Just go spend 24 hours. That's the alternative.
Yeah,
you get an hour off for every cheeseburger you eat. So if you don't eat a cheeseburger, you can spend 24 hours in there.
Righto.
That's your punishment, mate. I had to have a Kafusi on the back of my head for about 6 months, bro.
All right. Tipping point is the game where we push each other over the edge and see who can get the most points for SuperCoach. So whatever side we land on is the side we die with for the week.
Mortal Kombat. I'm going to finish you right off here.
This week it's Dylan Edwards, Payne Haas, Nathan Cleary, Nico Hines, and Blake Brayley. All right. So let's start with Dylan Edwards playing the Tigers on Saturday night.
Yep. Where are you starting the line at?
I'll start at 70.
I'll go over 70 and go over 80.
I'll go over 80 and go over 85.
I'll go over 85 and go to 86.
I'll go under 86. I'm not taking a risk there. Payne Haas will start at 80.
80? You want to go over?
Yeah.
I'll go over 81.
I'll go over 82.
I'll go over 83.
I'll go over 84.
I'll go under 84.
Oh. I'll take it for sure. Nathan Cleary versus the Tigers. Once again, I'll start at 75. Goal kicking's huge. Dylan Edwards should have taken that into account. Edwards under 86 for me if he gets the goal kicking.
You're going over 75?
Yeah.
I'll go over 76.
I'll go over 77.
I'll go over 80.
I'll go over 85.
I'll go under 85.
Yeah, I'm happy with over 85. Cleary over 85.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
Nico Hines, 90.
I'll go over 95.
Oh, it's so high. I'll go under 95.
I was going to go to about a good 130.
Were ya?
Yeah.
Well, you got nothing to lose.
That's right.
You've got 8 weeks to correct yourself.
Yeah.
Blake,
and I don't even have to win the next round. I could have one of the boys win it for me.
Blake Brayley will go 70.
Yeah. Oof.
Against the understrength bunnies.
Yeah. I'll go over 80. It's a safe under.
Yeah, I'll go under.
Good on you.
All right. Captains?
Yeah, probably just a first gut feel, like without looking at it too deep.
Are you getting in Cleary?
Like, I don't know what I'm doing this week. Now, coming into the podcast, had no idea. I was leaning, it was either Cleary or Dylan. Probably not Payne this week. I'd have to wait a little bit on that. And then sitting here talking through it, it was all steam ahead on Dylan Edwards, bringing him in. And then I got to a funny little point in my mind where I started to go, do I prefer Brayley instead? But I think I'm just going to let Brayley's pretty expensive. And he probably can keep going pretty well, but it's a hooker. So, I don't know. I just feel like Dylan Edwards scored 170. To me, that looked pretty easy. I don't think it looked like out of this world. I know it was against a club that was struggling, and yeah, I think it's probably the way to go for me. So yeah, Edwards I'll probably be bringing in. I'll have to pass on Brayley.
Yep.
Who am I going to downgrade? I don't know. That second one is going to be probably get a little bit fruity and probably something I'll end up regretting in coming weeks. I'll probably make the wrong decision there.
So who's your captain?
My captain will be Nico.
Yep.
And I think vice captain will be Drinky.
My vice captain is Drinky. My captain is probably going to be Cleary.
You don't have Nico, do you?
I don't have Nico.
Oh,
I'm a bit scared this week. I'm a bit scared.
Are you going to try and catch me somehow? Like with not having Dylan Edwards or not having Nico or
my side this week.
Only having four trades.
My side this week is rough.
Feeling like we're not. We're pretty close though. Hey,
Yeah.
like we're not that far apart. I'm feeling like I've got a buffer on you, but it's not that much.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully things just go my way. Just like
Was it less than 200 points?
yeah, it's about 200. All right. Put to Instagram. What are your the question was, what are you going to target as a late season play? I just want to hear your responses on a couple of these. Time to go rogue. Chance and Mulatalo have good draws. I actually love Mulatalo. That's a good shout.
Yeah. Well, what was going to be one of my late season plays? This is one of the things I'm really dirty on myself for not bringing in Dylan Edwards. Is I was kind of had in the back of my mind, think I wanted to do Latrell in the back end of the year.
Yep.
And when I heard that he was ruled out mid-round last round, that was before Dylan Edwards had the chance to take the field. I was immediately like, well, there's only Dylan Edwards left now. Like, did you just get Dylan Edwards? And then I was like, no, just stick to your plan. Like, I'm going against my plans, and I just didn't want to do it yet. And so I'm pretty upset about that. I feel like that was not playing eyes up SuperCoach. It was right in front of you. So that was one that I wanted to have. Outside of that, I don't think I'll be making any rogue moves. I feel like I've got nearly everyone.
Yep.
I think I've got everyone I don't think I'm missing anyone.
Yeah, you don't feel like you're missing someone.
Once I get Cleary, Edwards, and Haas, there's no one you can say, now that Val Holmes is ruled out for the year. Now that Latrell's ruled out for the year, like say a player and there's
doesn't scare you.
No, there's no one.
I think Nico's the one this week that scares me. But I kind of feel similar.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
Edwards doesn't scare me. Edwards doesn't scare me for the run home, which is why I'm not going to get him, because I think you've got to get him players that scare you, and if Edwards scares you, that's what you got to do. Jaden 98 said Stags or McLean. Paul JS 80 says Casey Mack. So a lot of people are going McLean. I actually don't mind the shout.
He's looking great.
Yeah,
as like a footy player. Like I haven't really thought about it for SuperCoach, at all. Like didn't even think about it for SuperCoach, but I was just looking at him, and I was particularly the week he played against the Dogs, and I thought he was really owning himself against Crichton. A bit.
How good was it?
What, this is your spot, was it, bro? You know what I mean? Like I'm a big dog now. I'm one of the boys, and he's growing into his body a little bit just in a year. Like I feel like he's from this time last year just looks a little bit. Yeah, I think he's a great thing. I'm really excited. I was a bit off him at the start of the year. Hey, a bit like I don't know about this guy.
Yeah, don't know
for Penrith,
if he's it.
But now I'm loving him.
All right, and one last thing we're going to finish on is the inform 1-17 of the NRL, and I want to hear your opinion on it. So the inform players in the NRL at the moment: number 1, James Tedesco. On the wings, Jacob Kiraz and Xavier Coates. In the centres, Herbie Farnworth and Stephen Crichton. 5'8" and halfback, Cody Nikorima and Isaiah Katoa. Up front, Terrell May and Payne Haas. At hooker, Blake Brayley.
It's tough.
On the edges, Ellie Katoa and Hudson Young. And at lock, Aaron Clark. Thoughts?
I think there was one that kind of stood out. I thought centre maybe could be a bit up for debate. You had Crichton.
Well, Herbie and Crichton, I think.
Yeah, I thought
Crichton's been very good for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, but he's been a little bit not there for a bit just through Origin and stuff. And I don't know, I just felt like Herbie kind of... Did you say you left Herbie out there?
No, I said Herbie.
Okay.
Herbie and Crichton.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, play on then. I guess there's probably another...
I think the 5'8", Cody Nikorima, I think he's been great, but I feel like you could put someone else there.
Ethan Strange has been pretty good.
Yeah, Ethan Strange's a good shout.
Yeah.
So we'll put Ethan Strange there.
NRL wise, it's NRL, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think May and Haas are by far up front. Blake Brayley, number 9. Katoa has only hit form recently. I think Dylan Lucas could have been there had he still been playing. But I think just based on that, that's the Dally M team of the year at the moment. Xavier Coates, I think he's been outstanding this year. And Jacob Kiraz.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, thank you for tuning in for this week's episode of the SuperCoach Experience. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks, Timmy.
Thank you.
And thank you to Mic'd Up Podcast Studios for hosting us.
Thanks to them having us. There's lots of shelving space here. I feel like we should have utilised it with
I know.
Maybe next time, a couple of bobbleheads or...
a couple of NRL related stuff.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.